Hey guys, so in this video, which actually should be probably long, boring with a bad sound and whatever you complain for, but it will be super useful if you interested on learn how to use AWS API, how to build application and make and so on. So we have for today a thing to actually build application to use AWS API for the billing purposes. And that's what we're exactly going to do. So first of all, we're going to start with the new app creation. So it will be universal AWS sign API, sign it API call thing. So I'm just going to call it AWS dev. This will be my app, which actually could do everything with the AWS where they support the signature. So we won't go with too much things. I hope F is a black. So we going to get an application now, and let's start with exploration at once. So here we have the new module. Let's call it signed call. I'm going to use this by default. So signed AWS API call or make signed API call performs signed call. Okay, that's it. So we got first application, and we're starting to explore a feature that make the application platform has to generate signatures, which are required to create our API call. So for this, I'm going to use a new scenario, call it AWS dev test, not dev test, whatever. And let's start with our module at once. Okay, I still missed the color as usual, so we have to change this to zeros to have it at least visible. Okay, we're going to play with the logo and everything else later. For now, I'm going just to add the thing. And this, as soon as we save it, will be our first scenario with our app. And now let's start to configure it. So what we have to do is actually check the cost, the billing thing right inside the literally a cost of our account use. So we do have an account for it. We do have everything else. Now let's start with our exploration. So AWS has a ton of things, as you know. So first I go to my account. I should be already signed in. Okay. And I have paid account. I have slight usage. So we good. So as you see, we have the usage to test with. And we starting with the first minimal something to understand that the thing working, right? So here, documentation, how to create signed AWS API request. Is super basic generic thing for most of the API calls on AWS. So even if we Google with this boring and long AWS billing cost management thing, right, with authorization, it will appear here. So at least part of these calls, I understand, right, are using this authorization. I expect that like 100% of them, but anyways, so that's actually get cost and usage, which is funny, exactly what we need. So let's start with this one, and let's try to create the first test call using make spec to create this authorization because the signature, I mean, because this is most boring and complicated thing to do, right? It's about correct signature if you don't use library or external some service that would sign it for you. This is most complicated thing. And we actually have example of the request already. The everything that we need is the authorization. And what I also want to do is start with a perplexity probably instead of GPT or something. And or maybe let's go with a GPT. Doesn't matter. Give me the instruction to make simplest API call to AWS with a signature and start with a step-by-step instruction to generate keys etc. Okay, because the first boring thing that we usually start with AWS stuff will be the generation of these keys, security policy management, and so on, so on. So we have to start with this one first. So sign into AWS management, click profile name, my security credentials, access keys, create a new access key. Exactly what we need. And let's go to our account. And let's do what it asks. So account, and then my security and credentials. This, oh, AWS works. You have a ton of things, and if you like not every day or advanced user, it's really boring. Okay, I'll probably go with this one. Is it the one? Okay. As the following, tell me how to create a new user in uh, access management with the required permissions etc for this and for using uh, billing API for AWS. Anyways, we need like new security group, so this is all related crap has to be done. Okay, so here we go. Users create user, enter username. Okay, yeah, let's do this one, billing API user. I like the name. Right user access to management console optional. Enter programmatic access for API console access optional. Okay. Mm. Programmatic through. Okay. Add the user to group. Okay. Oh, awesome. We have this one as a permission. Attach policies directly. No, no, no. Mm. Okay, start with these permission groups, right? So we have to create a group or use boundaries. Okay. forget if the user group, just a group, or it has some permissions. No, it has ton of things. Okay, let's go and do it. Technically, it's just something like this. You do the policies, but it's like never works. You have to like spend like a trillion of years had before AI came into place. So open the I'm console, navigate user, create group, enable group names. Edit group name. Billing admin. Attach policies like good. It's a full access, right? I do see AWS billing read only. Okay. Yeah, read only works because we just need to do the thing. For custom policies with the permissions of the portal, we billing for general API access attach only the permission needed for the user task principal privileges. And okay, I will probably keep this with a billing, right? Select existing skip. You create CLI summary table. Okay. Then we going back to this, and let's hope our group is okay. So this user will be to a group of billing admin, and for billing API access, attach these policies. Okay. I believe we also can do this, right? So it's create policy builder where you can copy paste this. So either or. Yes, this one, the JSON editor. Okay, this is the one. So you can either then go with a new group or attach policy like this. I'm not sure should we trust this guy or no, but let's do probably this also at once to not struggle in future. So this will be the doesn't like commenting. Okay. So next we'll call it custom billing policy. Hope this works. Create a policy. And let's do one more for the general. Oh, it's full access. If user needs to manage execute API invoke. Hmm. Yeah, let's do this just in case. And we'll attach this to our user. So our goal is not to like make you super advanced in policies, right? But create the application. So I'm going to use this also, execute invoke. I'm not sure why it says all. Maybe it just allows you execute any API call then. So let's call it then custom, and let's create it. Okay, so now we got these two policies, and I want to add this to my user. So we have custom billing and these two also, plus it was talking about, so actually added to a group, right? But now I'm attaching the things directly. So just in case, let's attach this once again, and it will be the billing read only. Okay, now it looks like we good. And custom, yeah. So we have three. Let's hope this will work. And hardest part with this see with user management already there. So we have our user created, which is awesome. And now we finally can get back to user things. Okay, so as a user, okay, as a root user, go to billing dashboard. Mm, I'm not sure if I have to create a keys for, okay. Select users under security credentials, create access key and save this above. Okay. Oh, okay. So we then got, this is the master kind of guy, right? And alternatively, we created a user for it. And we are going to do these credentials right now. So you're going to have two set of credentials. One is kind of super duper master thing. And another one, it's the one for this guy. Okay, which is also fine. So this going to create access key command line, local application, third party, other, okay, command line, we don't need local code, we also application running on our compute. Yeah, okay. Awesome. We will use other description, tag value, whatever, create access key, done. And download the files. Will be a second file. Awesome. So now we have two keys, just in case for root user and for new user that we created, which is awesome. So now that could be distinguished, you can distinguish who is who and who has permission. So now you see like how you can do it. Awesome. So hardest part with the AWS hopefully done. Now we will deal mostly with the makes. Okay, so silent API call done. With this part, let's go to the make documentation for the application. Okay, so what I'm going to test now will be this. In make custom apps, we do have AWS directive that works for when you make a request. You can potentially add these things. Okay, so that should, and actually never use it, which will be interesting also, right, to generate our signature. So we're going to also check the modules. Inside the search, we have good communication spec advanced where we can copy this. Okay, so we do use everything standard, but this is something that we're going to copy. And let's go back to this description also, just in case if we will need it. Okay, so that's good. Now we need our application, our code, and perplexity with a description. So here is our things. So we do have these several things to add. And let's start with the spec that we copied. So first of all, we starting with the version. This will be version number 4. For sure. Then we have access key and secret key, region and service. So key and secret key. Let's go with our new billing guy. So I will advance hard code the keys. We will play with the fancy stuff later. And secret. So we have session and bucket as two more parameters that we can pass. Let's see if this actually will help us, unless you specify your bucket as a part of the path or the request doesn't use a bucket. Okay, let's presume we do not use bucket yet. Default 2 must be either 2 or 4. Service, it's actually, yeah. So service works only for fourth version of the signature. And let's see. So we have service SSM or the Alice SSM. Now this doesn't work for us because we need the billing, right? So okay. Now spec of the simplest get all to billing API that we are created user work. Meanwhile, let's jump and maybe take a look at a doc itself. An example here, right? So our host, and it's actually will be kind of our URL if we're going to go this one, right? So user agent, all the spec, a target, content type. Oh, this is Amazon. JSON. It's interesting. It looks like these all are headers, so we just need to send this JSON, which will be interesting, right? Okay, so let's try to test this out. Mm. Yeah, we got nice CLI and Python implementation, which is nice, but I need CURL or at least HTTP implementation. So this example of the request and signature. I'm curious about the version. So we still use, yeah, this is an example of calling the AWS bucket. Use it by default. Okay. Let's see our perplexity. Also, we get a CRL. So this is our interesting. Okay, so we can use it like this, which is interesting, but I do see signature. It's funny enough, and it's really interesting. Let's try to do then following. So if this is really the valid API call that we can use with our credentials, let's go to even more simpler step. Because if this is true, we can use a regular call and set it up through this. So we're going to have definitely post call, right? This will be our body. Okay, so this can be dropped. So we have this header. It's inside index service cost usage. It's like a service name, right? Content type. Okay, so content type has to be changed actually to custom one. They won't accept regular JSON. Okay, it's not empty, come on. And we do have, I don't like that, to be honest, because it's a signature. So looks like that's actually interesting. Anyways, so for the user, we do have basic authorization here, and we can go with our credentials. So I do see my FF, the user, and a password. So this will be automatically converted to the basic one. And yeah, let's talk to the guy about this. Mm. is this base 64. And I'm asking it about the hash for this guy. So let's see what we're going to get. Because then it's kind of curl, right? So this is not the header for sure. The user. It should be base 64, but this looks like a signature for me. Okay, is this now done base 64? Sorry, basic out. This is my bad. Oh, it's a plain text. Use these to sign the request. Generates. Okay, so we got it. So we have the signature, and it's just crap or crap, whatever you like. To call it. So, anyways, we won't use zero. So, and even the spec would work for zero, which I really doubt. This won't be working for our thing. So let's try to use Postman just for test our hypothesis. Yeah, maybe Postman is capable enough to do it, but I can do this as a plain API call. So if I copy this to the Postman, mm, signature. Yep. Okay. So then let's do the following. Let's try to see the make thing here. Let's see how this will interpret the thing. I have my environment where I can set uh, call using this collection. Uh, set the AWS authorization. How would you feel this then? So we are missing a session. Isn't this a session thing? So it's we have a target, right? Not the session. Okay, session is empty. Key secret bucket. My bucket given empty also. Yeah. So I was correct about this. So we can literally make this empty. Hopefully this won't be used. So signature, and let's the string with the correct data for this billing. Oh, I'm just lazy to do it, but it's obvious how you complete it. So here will be full URL because we're going to use module just for it. Will be post call, right? We need to add another header and the type. And the custom type could be interesting because make use some specific types, but this we'll see. Okay, yeah, the content type will be our reading. Awesome, awesome. Query string. Okay, so this with our keys, secret, version, time code. Yeah, pretty good. It tries even do this for us. Let's see if it's smart enough to finish this for us. So we go to our test scenario then. So unfortunately, HTTP will never work unless we go into build a signature there, which is not in my plan for today. Wow, that's super promising, and 200 looks amazing. So guys, it looks like we built it from the scratch at once, and it's awesome. So this definitely doesn't know how make handles the output because the action module type can't iterate the things, right? And found the string. Okay, so string is okay. It's not a big deal. And there's just another collection has to be added. Let's call it data maybe. And it will contain the whole body of our response. And that's it. I really like 200. Really, really, really like 200 because that states that we are on a really good track. Let's say to make that our output is also a JSON, so it could handle it. Output type JSON, yeah, so type. Really? With a star? I thought just type enough. No. Sorry, it should be on response level. No, inside the response, right? Yeah, but not on output. Okay, what do I try? I want this to be parsed. Awesome. So here we go. And we got something, which actually usage from our thing. So what we need to configure is just a body because we don't build the generic module. Our point is building thing. And now what we also can do is to make this nicer, as I promised. So since this will be the kind of custom call, we need to configure this. We need to configure the bucket. We need to configure API calls and so on. But in general, it works, and this is awesome. So let's start with the mappable parameters. We want to probably make the body for standard call just a text, right? So for this, I want to use parse JSON for parameters. Will look like this. We assume we will have a data in parameters, actually like this example, and it will be a text. For this, I usually prefer to jump into this guy. So if you don't know, it's a VS Code. You go to the modules, you type make, you install the make thing, and then you will see this environment. So you create a new one, click next, match your URL where you want to add it, name, API key, and that's it. It's nicer if you like to more codey thing, and I'll show you why it's also good because it has it's more convenient for the parameters. So if we go back to the thing, okay, to our level parameters, it's very easy to build it. So, oops, sorry. So text parameter data text, and here we go into the help JSON text with data. We definitely may have a query parameters, so that's, yeah, I believe this will be wise to have data collection to send at least this starting point. Okay, so response will be hopefully always JSON, and this thing actually hopefully also will be like this. Then we have a target. I would call parameter target definitely, but we will need to find out what the better thing for it. So target label also data target. That's good for now. Here it does not recognize the things, which is funny. In UI, it calls list of parameters. If I'm not mistaken, we'll leave this as this, and the URL definitely will be completely customizable. So for now, we'll keep it just URL. Later, we'll update it. Do we have URL? Yeah, we have the URL, which is nice. So this will be a URL type. Here we'll have the name, definitely URL. Now, full URL. Sorry. URL of the with our API call. And what I also want to do is backticks for that definitely, and put defaults. So we can use default. Let's see, probably it. Oh no, sorry, it's comma. Okay, and default here also. I won't put the JSON example because it's, yeah, need to escape it. So that's it. Like we good. And these two guys, we going to take from the connection. So connection key. So in makeup, as you may know or know, so we'll know it. We as soon as the thing saved, right? So you go into as soon as connection saved, so this parameter could be called connection. So for this, we need to create one connection to make it fancy and nicer in UI sense. So we will call it AWS. It could be other, doesn't really matter. Okay, so the point of this is just say parameters. Let's see if this will work, hopefully. Continue to editing, so save. Nice. And now we can see basic type. It's assigned a basic type. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Parameters. So text, I'm sorry. Key. Okay. There is no guarantee that these will be saved, so we might need to apply some tricks, but let's try. So parameters, yeah, and the last step that we need to perform, I need to discard it here because it's already saved, is to attach connection. As you see this updated. We might play with configuring these parameters like session bucket types later. So for now it will be post call. Actually, probably Amazon always use post call, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go to mappable. And oh no, sorry, here when you open the module, we attach the connection we just created in AWS. Okay. So test with a kind of newer version. Yeah, we finally should get rid of these stuff. Let's reload. Let's see how this will work. Probably credentials won't be saved, but we hope on it because for a connection, make actually uses usually procedure to validate the call and then only save it. But we will hope that will work for us. So this our secret. The key is cluster copy somewhere. Let's use one to save. It's kind of tested connection to nothing because there is no API call really, and it saved parameters. Yeah, it might work. And as for data, we have to use our JSON without this. It just should be a text that we going to parse then and attach to the rest of the things. It may work actually, but it doesn't. Let's see. Okay, and this is actually a final version of this kind of MVP thing. I'll show you the code. So I copied several pieces from the regular or universal module that you can get if you go into create the universal module, right? With the REST type. So it will give you the template of the code. And it just makes it more universal. So basically URL we have as we had, right? So we will provide full URL parameter. I don't actually use the universal example. The method I took from universal. Now it's nice kind of selector with the whatever you choose, get, put, and so on. I added this as advanced as you see, and by default it's a post, which I changed. Then moving further, we have two collections. Yeah, this actually I added parameters from my AWS. So these things will be from parameters. Bucket and session will be from parameters. The rest will be from connections. So key and secret. Not many changes. The body we do have as a parse JSON, at least for now. It will be string of JSON that will be parsed. And here in the response, I just added this error thing to read the message more clear. The output, as you can see, more or less standard. So not much stuff. This type JSON allows us to parse it if it's a JSON. I'm not sure it's 100%, but again, some kind of MVP. So back to these guys, they form like a collection of parameters, right? So this is empty one for future query strings, so URL parameters that you're going to put. Again, this copy paste from the standard module. While for headers, which another collection like this, I do provide default as our Amazon JSON 1.1. I actually haven't even tested the regular JSON if it works. It might work. And this kind of a method of API call. So for example, if you go to a different API call, which is get calls with a something that may require you something different, like a with, say, resources and so on. And that's it. So it works. If we go to the module, that's how it looks like right now. So this is data where we provide the collection. I literally copy pasted it from this example. Just change the date because it complains on, like historical data is not allowed and blah, blah, blah. So I put last week or so, last day actually. And yeah, this actually goes without resources because if you, it's just call specific, right? So it asks additional IDs and things. So that's really, we built a universal module. So you have to know like what exactly you're going to ask AWS to get a reply. And here we have the URL. We also have a query string that we can create many of them. And if we open advanced, we should have type and session bucket if needed. That's it. So now I can do the call, and that returns me a data, which is parsed. And it's also able to read errors. So say I put something historical, so it will complain on the, and you haven't enabled historical data beyond 14 months. So you read this directly from error message here. So body error comes into our communication section is this. So error message, body message. And that's it. So this is our app that we got. So here you go.